An Archive Central project will start with an analysis of the data in the SAP system, and we use our online analysis capabilities to do this. So this is an example report here of a system. We'd be looking at information about the types of data that are contained in the system, even considering potentially sensitive data in the system. And then what we typically use is the supported objects information. So this is giving us a breakdown of the data that's in this particular SAP system, based on different functional areas. We can see a difference between the master data and the transactional data, and we can then see groupings of what we refer to as business object definitions by different functional areas. And at the lowest level, we have an actual list of our technical object names with the number of records that we've seen for a particular data type. So this allows us, working with the client's functional teams, to essentially build up a work list for the extraction so that the SAP system can then be switched off. Once we have that work list, our teams will then come into the Archive Extractor technology. So this installs inside SAP and is a SAP certified solution which allows us to then get that data out with its metadata. So we would come in here, use the create export option. We then have a menu that's a bit like the SAP standard menu, and we can navigate through to the particular objects that we're wishing to extract. We can see all the different functional areas of SAP and the different data types. If we take the example material, we can then enter our selection criteria. So we might be wanting to upload a list, or we might have a range of materials, or we're only interested in certain types. And we have what we call data groups. So this is the optionally available data that can go with the object definition. So in this case, the materials plant information. Do we want all plants, or do we want to filter it to specific plants, valuation areas, etc. On the left-hand side, we have the integration tree. So this is how this particular data type may link to other data types that we might need for the extraction. So we can make choices in here, and once we've made those choices, we can also save a template. So as the project evolves, if we discover actually there's additional things we needed, so approved manufacturer parts, or maybe batch information is relevant, we can add those and then update the template so that we can keep consistency with what's being extracted. In the extractor, you can then go and view your selections, and that allows you to see the related data. So in this case, we've got a material with characteristics, classification data, and a product hierarchy. And our extractor does also allow some transformation of the data. So if there's some information that you didn't want to actually take from the SAP system, so it's just not required in the archive, maybe it's sensitive data that you don't feel you should hold under the legislation like GDPR, then you can choose redaction options as the data is extracted as well. We then come through to the extraction options. We can choose to run in the foreground or the background, and we can use parallel processing if we wish to. This then takes us through to the monitor desk, so our consultants can track the progress of a particular extract and see that data being extracted. We can see that material has come out incredibly quickly. And then if we go in and view the information that's available within here, we can actually see some more detailed information on what's come out. So we can see we've not just brought the material information and all the tables that are relating to the material, we've also brought out some of the domain information as well. So where there might be labels that are stored against the domain, we've got that information as well. And these files that have been created on the application servers for SAP can then be transferred to Archive Central and automatically ingested. What we're bringing is the data, but also the data model, so that Archive Central knows how to represent data in a format which the business user would be used to, so they can drill in and see related information for the main keys of the object.